fucking easy street, then you get kicked in the fucking face.
In the next bubble screen over here, let's throw curls.
What are the whys, right? What are the whys?
Bears Hour Live.
The Tape Never Lies Network. Starts now.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
Yeah, you look at the tape. So as a coach, your resume is the tape.
Loses the football. Strip sack and
Bears Hour Live. Bears Hour Live. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys Travis Gibson, the smartest man alive. Bears Hour Live.
Son of a bitch, you better block.
Bears Hour Live. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys Trav Talking, the smartest man alive. Ran up with the true analysis you expect. Raw passion for the show. Bear fans get nothing less. Locked in with real emotion and passion for every play. Coach Phil delivering that range in with facts by shade. Post game show like nothing else you're gonna hear. Some can try to copy, but a bucket's not sincere. Delivering the truth on what just happened, to be clear. That's why we're on TV, so you can see it, not just hear. Hey, yo, with Draft Dr. Phil, you know it's always hit six. True to fundamentals, never gimmicks and tricks. Guess we're moving Soldier Field up to Arlington Heights. Mill out counting bucks while the mayor big fights. Our life keeps growing, Shane's all knowing. Delivering the truth on how the QB's throwing. Dimes on time, just lacking fundamental. Whatever the case, we get hot like Cecil. Fiery discussion on what happened in the game. This ain't your daddy's postgame show, expect the fucking flame. Not for the average fan, a loss they can't survive.
But don't you worry.
Bears Hour Live.
Bears Hour Live. Bears Hour Live.
Let him sit his ass there again.
I don't think we're that much worse.
The myth, the red legend, Dr. Phil Ototion.
This is football, baby. Culture is the problem. Little things. Bears Hour Live, Bears Hour
Son of a bitch, you better
Bears
block.
Hour Live.
That's what happens. That's when you have a real
Right
good team.
after Bears
And let's
games
get it
with
on.
your boys Draft Talk and the smartest.
Give me some fucking names.
This is Bears Hour Live.
That's right. This is Bears Hour Live.
Is Bears.
And the Bears couldn't win a game in high school, Phil. It's over.
The panic.
Over.
The
What did
panic
Aaron
is real.
What did Aaron Rodgers say a couple of years ago? Just relax.
Quoting Aaron Rodgers.
What did he say? He said, relax.
I think he spelled
I
it out.
understand. Yeah. RELAX.
I think he had to is there 2 A's in there?
Is there issues? Yes. But I mean, we have people. I've been reading the chat like 10 minutes before we go live. Everybody's talking in absolutes. And what I saw today, I know what I'm seeing in a preseason game. Yes, there's lots of concerns there. I get it. Are the Bears where we want them to be? No. When we stay here, and I know it's hard to hear when you're a fan and when you're an analyst or whatever, and most people are overly negative when they talk about the Bears. It's a long ways to go. It's a 17-week season. The Bears, I think it's going to be all about incremental progress with these guys. We'll see what happens. They're a more talented team this year than they were last year. They were close in some games. There's a lot of issues last year. We know about it. A lot of it's going to come down to straight health. We see guys falling down the wayside today, guys getting hurt. Noah Sewell, goes down, and that's going to be a guy that I was really looking forward to seeing, throughout the season. But there's no absolutes right now. The Bears were 3-0 last year in the preseason. And guess how many games they won in the regular season? They won 3 games. So pump the brakes. There's lots to talk about, lots to get into. But what we see today doesn't mean that's what we're going to see tomorrow.
Yeah, there's no rants during the preseason here at BHL. That will kick off, obviously, Bears, Packers in 2 weeks the Bears are going to make some cuts. And honestly, I think I'm with Shane 100%. I'm not worried. There's things I'm disappointed in.
Just real quick, Phil, before
taking Justin Fields out.
Oh, I didn't either. Even though he got hit,
it's a pussy move.
I didn't like it either. But Phil, my point is
that
if the Bears came out and went 3-0 in this preseason, and Justin Fields completed 74% of his passes and had 6 touchdowns and no interceptions,
that people would say it's just preseason.
Exactly, and it's also true. It's
That's
also
not even my address, Shane. By the way, Ron G totally fucking it up. No, it probably is. I'm joking. Oh, Shane. They'll find. I just think in this world of short takes and people who think they know football, you just want quick clips of highlights. And for me, I see the bigger process here. And if you're not a patron, please sign up, become one as we get into the season flow of analyzing these Chicago Bears. My eyeballs don't deceive me. I mean, the big topics, obviously, I said it, I didn't like them pulling Justin Fields out.
Totally agree. I didn't like it either. I know he got hit on that play, but
it was a screenplay.
We're playing football.
The right guy, exactly. And I think Mike Tomlin comes from the Etoshan school because he said exactly what the fuck I said this week.
Busting your balls, Ronnie. We saw you pop up. We love you.
Just kidding, Ron. I saw you in there, Ron. So I was like trying to figure out. Anyway, I just think you got a boxer's got to spar to get into the fight.
Mike Tomlin said the same thing. I think it was Ryan Cox that shared that.
Yeah.
Comment.
He said exactly what I said.
Boxer's got to spar. Yeah, exactly.
And that's where I come from. And I'm glad Justin was out there. I have concerns about the rotation at backs. I think Khalil Herbert is a change of pace, third down, plant and go type of guy. Another drop from him. Got to catch that ball. It's frustrating with Khalil. I'll say that. I could see Foreman and Rashawn Johnson. I
made a comment earlier, Phil. They play in 4-wheel drive all the time. Those two.
That's a great.
And that's where Khalil Herbert, you love his yards per carry. You love that. But that's why I thought going in, like Kevin Fishbane talked about there being a clear separation, that Herbert has clearly separated himself. I just don't think he's ever going to be, based on everything that I've seen from him. I think he's a good back. Is he a guy that's going to go in there as a lead dog? I don't think he is.
He isn't.
And that doesn't
broadcast. That doesn't make him bad.
People that are Herbert fans are going to, he says Herbert sucks. That's not what I'm saying. He's absolutely got a role on this team.
I'm with you 100%.
As the lead dog, I'm not there.
I'm complete. Like, my eyes tell me the truth. Again, this is limited. You can manipulate things. Okay, it's just preseason. They're not going to show anything. You can do that all you want. I'm not doing that. I'm looking at who did I see? Like, for example, we could go down the list here. Rasheem Green, the kid Green, is a 5-tech rotate. He's Izzy Adonijay and a rotation second string guy. And Travis Gibson
before you even get into
100 times better than him.
Let's address 100. That.
Yes.
There's the report out there that he has requested a trade, and the Bears have granted him that. Now, Greg Gabriel brought up, and I think it's a great point, is that if the Bears were interested in trading him, he's not out on the football field.
Exactly.
Because if you're interested in getting anything, and I'll be honest, at the very best, you get a conditional 6th-round draft pick. for Travis Gibson at the absolute best.
Thank you,
And
bro.
at that point, he's worth more to you just to keep on your roster. If he's disgruntled, then tough shit, Travis. Tough.
Exactly.
Big deal. So if you're interested in trading a guy, they're not out there trying to showcase him. I know Carmen Vitale, who's on with Adam Rank, put out a tweet talking about the same type of thing, saying that the Bears playing Tyson Bagent today proves that they don't want him on the team. And they're showcasing him for other teams to pick him up. It makes no sense. That
probably, I don't know, Brad Biggs or her had the dumbest tweet that you shared for me.
Yeah, Brad was, well, they had a center that never got hurt. Talking about Mustard, but
Brad, they also have a pizza shop that never closes in Chicago.
So
what does that mean?
Quick update from the locker room. Brad Biggs reporting Tevin Jenkins with a walking boot on his right foot and ankle as he leaves the Bears locker room. First time that he has been spotted post-practice since Indy.
So one of the calves is healed pretty well. The other two,
who knows?
The offensive line, I just watched that little highlight of Chris Simo coaching up, and I'm like, I don't want to be biased or anything. They can never be healthy. They just have never, under both administrations, you just never get healthy. And I'm completely against you have Whitehair at center all off season, leave him at center and find guards.
He's got a cast. He's got a cast on his right hand.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's
snap the ball.
Yeah, that's
snap the ball. It's not real. I don't know the whole scenario here, but again, I don't know what his injury is. Lucas Patrick has a hand injury. Every center this side of the freaking equator can't make it to the Chicago Bears starting lineup. The Instant Gratification Society. Thank you, E9. That's what we're dealing with here.
Oh, yeah.
So,
absolutely.
I'm frustrated. I want to see some consistency on the drive, but if you're only going to play a guy 2 series and you're going to pull him out on the goal line as he's going down that doesn't make sense either. So I have had huge question marks with Eberflus and this staff. The offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator have no luxury in my book. I don't know. Shane, it's like clockwork. 3rd and 14. Deep in cut coming, everybody. Deep in cut coming.
And Phil, it's been an issue since 2004. It happens all the time.
How about man up and challenge them a little bit, Alan? How about that?
I said earlier, 3rd and long, I actually get nervous with the Bears defense. Right. You should have confidence. It's like 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15. You're like, fuck. Here comes the deep in. Boom. Guy wide open. He falls down, gain of 18. But we've had this pop up a couple of times in the chat. Cam talking about Kramer looking solid. And what do we think of Doug Kramer's play? Well, Doug Kramer went out injured. And that was on the drive.
I didn't see solid at all, to be honest. Again, I was watching the interior because Jatiri Carter, a lot of people don't understand what they're seeing. Carter has not been good in my eyes. Physically, he's got some athletic ability. He can move, and he's an athlete. He's not a loaf, but I just don't see the pop and the understanding of football fundamentals where he is placing his hands on the screen where you get a big play. He blocks absolutely nobody. Again, Carter's and Kramer was okay. I just don't see the point of his attack strength. I liked what I saw with Dieter. A couple snaps were a little high when Walker got in there. But again, Dieter's moving people. Again, this is what I continuously see. Is there politics here or performance? Where are they going to do it? But to your point, now Kramer follows the same. Lucas Patrick, Whitehair, Kramer. They're all getting hurt at center.
So another update from the Bears locker room from TTNL friend Mark Grody. Bears center Doug Kramer just exited the Bears locker room with a cast on his right hand and wrist.
So he's done too. Maybe we'll move him to right guard. And then we'll go. It's like, I can't make this up. I'm laughing so I don't start crying. Honestly, I'm so tired of the offensive line issues here in Chicago. It's brutal. It's brutal. But again, what else did I see? Deesh nuts, get him out.
He's got the
he can't do it.
T-Rex arms.
The kid Haskins, 73, gets in. I really like the movement of this kid and strength, but again, SEMO is not my. I have question marks about these coaches, Shane. That's the biggest thing for me right now. This is the dress rehearsal. What is the play going to look like come Green Bay? Are we going to see these kind of errors, open, empty sets on 3rd and short? Fucking PJ Walker, 4th and 2 on a slant. He's throwing a fucking Roger Clemens fastball into the dirt. I'm like, you can't make. And then, people are going to get on Bagent for the interception. But as I told Shane, if you're running that you have to run under the defense to award your quarterback the target. It looked like Fountain tried to go behind, and it was just a miscommunication there. But everyone will forget the perfectly thrown dime ball that Carlson drops in the end zone. The difference between winning and losing is catching and dropping the football. Does the story of Bagent, Carmen, change when he throws that touchdown, a perfect strike? I mean, the Bagent stuff for me is
that happened. My comment was only the Bears. It's like if you
the
see
seam route too, Shane. I was like,
you could come out week 1. Justin could hit DJ Moore on a 64-yard bomb for a touchdown, and I'd put down a sizable sum of money that they would miss the extra point. That's what happens with the Bears. It's a big play followed up by something like that happening. But as soon as he let that ball get out of his grasp, Phil, I think I texted you and I'm like, only Chicago. And then the next play, you were a little bit behind and you're like, oh my God. And I said, oh, just hold on. I said, but sit tight, bro. It gets worse.
It gets worse. Oh my God. Yeah. Some of the broadcast today was putrid. They're calling Terrell Smith on the blocked punt for like 3 minutes. And I'm like, can you see it's Ford? I mean,
well, I had with me being in New York as a Bears fan, I had the Buffalo feed. So I had the Buffalo announcer. So all they would say is there's a injured Chicago Bear down at the 26. Let's talk about the 7th string, inside linebacker in Buffalo.
Yeah,
and they wouldn't provide any updates at all.
The Bears broadcast was a little putrid. It was on the putrid level. But
Byron, I'm not sure what you're talking about there, dude. I mean, this is the NFL. You see that play in the CFL and in high school football all day long.
How about catch the ball, Byron? Like, what world are we living in that you're gonna judge the ball is there?
Ryan Cox.
Every person.
I would have gotten the name wrong anyway. It's so true.
It's right there on the money. Catch the ball. He's diving for the football. He should have caught the football. What don't I like about SEMO's coaching? I don't see fundamentals being taught. If there's a 3 technique and you're running this counter play, then the center is going to have to cover block for it so the guard can, and it doesn't happen. It's like they solid block with the guard and the tackles try it. I don't know what they're doing, man. honestly. And I don't like I don't like his choice of personnel. Now, staying on the pod, like Gibson to me is a starting defensive end. He, to me, has won that job, and that's how it should be. He should be starting over Robinson. Dominic Robinson has too many.
They're going to start. They're going to start Walker.
Or
he'll be
Walker.
ready to go week 1. Yeah, they're. And
Here's
Ngakwe and Walker are going to be on the outside.
Here's why I question Alan Williams too. In what world are you putting Dexter in at 3 technique? He A, doesn't have a good get off. B, he stands up too much. And his best attribute is his point of attack strength. That's what you want in your 1 inside. The 3 is clearly the kid from South Carolina who continues to impress. So again, these guys can't figure their ass from their elbows out half the time. I don't get it. It's Simo.
Real quick, Phil, Peggy Kaczynski just tweeted in the post-game coaches show, which I didn't really know anything about, that he's obviously got a coaches show before he comes to the post-game conference.
Really? This is a new thing?
Yeah, with ESPN 1000. Head coach Matt Eberflus said there was a hard cap on Justin Fields' snap count today. It was a hard cap set at 13. That is why he was removed.
Take your hard cap, coach, and smack some ketchup on your hot dog with it, because it's so dumb. It's like you're in the middle of a drive. You want to build off success.
They did the same thing.
Take this kid out.
Ryan Cox shared a tweet. I think it was from Shapiro or Josh Schrock. One of them
dumbass
said when Bagent took him down the field, and then they said Peterman's warming up, and I'm like, let this kid finish the fucking drive. What are we doing here? Now, hey, there was a hard cap, whatever. I'm going to side with you on this one. I let Justin Fields
the inner competitor.
Yes, I understand that he got hit, and if he went out and got folded up the next down, then it's bad. But this is tackle football. Guys are going to get hit.
I totally agree. And listen, these are the things that I see. You're here, hopefully smashing the like button for this network. My eye test today told me there's issues with coaching, and player personnel issues continue. There's a 3rd down coverage issue that seems to be here in Chicago forever. How about we take some chances and jump on these deep in cuts on 3rd and longs? Let's play our safeties, not 20 yards off. Let's put them at 10 and challenge. I really like what I saw from the kid from Iowa, Ojamar. How do we say his name?
Ojemudia.
I really thought he stepped up. I know Miller talked about him. But yeah, I thought he really stood up. I like our rookie corner, man, Stevenson. He finally got an interception. I know kind of a questionable. I mean, if you're going to call that one on Stevenson, you should have called that first throw.
The one that they called on Stevenson. The wide receiver was a terrific actor on that. I mean, he sold it pretty good. He was even laughing about it on the sideline. But Mark Grody just tweeted out, ask PJ Walker if he has been told by the Bears that he was competing for the 2nd string with Tyson Bagent. His comment, I can read the room.
Good for him for keeping it 100, which will air this Wednesday night with Courtney Cronin of ESPN 1000. She'll jump on with us to talk about the roster cuts, where they did have an interview with our guy, Ryan Poles, during the broadcast.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that because I had the local.
It was not really much in depth. He did speak on how much. See, I'm not a fan, and we'll get into it on our live pop-up show this week, if you're a patron, where we break down our 53. And the guys, I'll just give you a teaser right here. There's no way in my fucking soul of football that I'm giving away Lewis and Gibson. There's just zero shot of that. What this guy decided to
Mitch, put
do,
that bottle down. Jesus.
I'm here and I'm looking around at the room. Yeah, he was on a hard cap there. 13 plays was what we wanted.
Okay, good afternoon. Just in the locker room thanking the players, for the time and attention they put into training camp, and really want to just appreciate those guys for the hard work and dedication they put into it. It's a good camp, it's a long camp, and the guys did a really nice job. And then also I compliment those guys in terms of the this game week, the preparation they put in for a mock game week during that, and we had a lot of volume of offense and defense in there for the preparation part of it, and obviously didn't show everything or do different things that we were going to do, but the guys executed well during the course of the week, and we were certainly excited about that. Talked to them about the time coming up. We got tomorrow they have the time off, and then they got 2 more days. We're going to do some light walkthroughs there, rest and recovery, get their bodies back with the performance staff, and then we'll have 2 really good practices to end the week before they go on the break for the weekend. So I thought that was good. In terms of the game, there's some good performances in there today. Certainly like Tyler Scott and his return game. Really like that. That was good to see. He made a nice tackle on the as a gunner.
Oh my God.
It was also good to see. And then
It's like that.
Cairo going 2 for 2 again, 51 yards. That was excellent. And he was 6 for 6 during the during the course of the preseason. So that was really good too. Overall, I thought we got a lot of good evaluation, tape to look at, and we'll see where it goes. I know we got some tough decisions to make coming up in the next couple days, and we will sit down, watch the tape, and then we'll have a meeting tomorrow.
Speaking of the tape,
with Ryan, Ian, myself, and the coordinators to figure out where we're headed in terms of the cut down and all that. But again, just appreciate everybody in that locker room.
The tape
and the QR code right there.
Yeah, that's a process all the way through. It's the next few days, and that process goes through that. And we'll sit down with all those guys when that happens. We like to sit and talk to them man to man and tell them where, what and why and what's going on. But we'll have a eye-to-eye conversation.
Is that unlikely to happen on an off day then?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it happens when it happens, so we'll see when it goes.
Yeah, what was the timing with Justin coming and start second quarter, screen pass, and then switching to tight?
Yeah, just play number. So he was finishing his play number there. Converted that third down, and Tyson came.
Your comment, because
pretty
I
easy
totally agree.
to figure out there. Wasn't excited that he got hit on that one, but it was a screen pass. It wasn't supposed to be like that. He's drift a little bit more, but he did fine. So.
What went into the decision to give Tyson as much work as he did, and how did you feel like he?
Yeah, just really about the competition. You look at the reps. With all the quarterbacks. They all had some work with the twos. And Tyson hadn't had that yet. So we wanted to put him in there with that second group, and he operated well.
Was that the plan going into this during the week, or was that more of a last minute decision?
No, it was a plan. Yep, it was a plan we wanted it to be, to get a good look and get an evaluation, had to be on equal playing field. So we thought the evaluation was good.
What kind of stuff did Tyson take today in the number 2 quarterback battle?
Thank you, Vince.
I thought, in terms of just overall, I don't know about the battle, but I know that he put his best foot forward. He operated the offense, was in and out of the huddle. A lot of times when you're working with, different pieces of parts, sometimes you're getting up there to the line and it's 7 seconds, and he was very mindful of the clock to get the snaps off. Typically with inexperience, you don't, you have a couple of those delays. He didn't have those, but overall great operation. I thought he was accurate. The decision-making was good. So overall good.
For you, do you know who your number 2 quarterback is, or
Yeah.
will there be something that you have to
We
evaluate?
sure
over
do,
the
but I'm not
next
going to tell you right now.
72
That's
hours
what he
from
needs to say.
Yeah, we got to see where it is. I mean, we're going to sit
You
down
know.
as a group and talk about it, and we'll see where it is. It's not no decisions have been made, so we're just going to sit down as a group,
They
watch
know.
the tape, and then talk
That's a
about
lie.
what the best thing for the Bears is, and that's what we always do. What's best for the Bears?
When you say it's best for the Bears,
Gibson got permission to go seek a
you
trade.
just have to say Bagent.
How is he fit as an end?
That's what's best for the
And what is
Bears.
your stance on if a player wants to go do that organizationally?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to really comment on that because I don't know much about that. I know that just came out, but I can just say this: Travis is an outstanding young man, and he works his tail off, and he's been that great since we've been here, and that's where he had some good plays out there today too.
Coach, the defense predicated on strong corner play. Were you pretty much emphasizing the importance of playing physical with the receivers today?
We're always emphasizing being physical. That's part of our principle. The intensity piece
Torian.
of it, and
Thanks.
we're always doing that with all positions. We want to be able to showcase our physicality, in all positions. So then corner's no different.
We saw Doug Kramer with the wrap on his hand. Is the injury serious?
Yeah, we think he's going to be okay. We'll see where it goes. We'll take a look at it here overnight and see, because a lot of times some things happen overnight. But we'll see where it is, but it looks positive.
What do you like about Tyreek today?
That he bounced back. He's going to have that. As a young player, just like all the young players we played last year. As a young player, you're going to have a lot of learning experiences. And technique. And fundamentals. So he has to look at those. The penalties that he did have, and then look at it and see where he's going from there and learn from those. And then the ability to bounce back, have a nice interception,
Looks like
and be able to just come back and play the next play. And that's going to happen during the course of the year.
A lot of control did kind of do the toe tap thing.
Highbrow. Highbrow.
His awareness and him knowing that he needed to get 2 feet down.
It says that he has a lot of attributes like his coach, timing and rhythm and all that. But no, he's a competitor, and he likes to do. He's got really good ball skills, and I know that he's wanted to get that interception, in the preseason, and I knew he missed the first couple, but I'm glad he got that one.
Shane Scott.
Now we saw Noah. Do you know yet if that's something that could be long term?
I don't know yet.
He looks
I don't know.
different to me.
We'll see. We'll see. I talked to him in there, and he's doing fine, but we'll see where it goes.
He's got the Joker eyebrow.
But as Tyler Scott progressed today on both kicks and punts, what did you see just from him back there?
Yeah, we've been impressed with him the whole time. Honestly, he's very smart. Learned the offense really fast. Can play multiple positions. And now in the kicking game, playing gunner, and he made that nice tackle, and then the kick return that he had. Had a couple, I think, fair catches in punt return, I believe.
Yes,
so he did a nice job with that too.
You said you would have preferred Justin not get popped on the last play there. He took off and ran a couple times. One time instead of sliding, he went kind of got ankle tackled.
Yeah.
When he was in the open field, are you holding your breath in a preseason game, number one?
Yeah. No, that's just me. I mean, he's not thinking that. He plays fearless, and he's going to go out there and play his game, and he can't play scared.
Do you think he's ready for the season?
Yeah, I think he's in a good spot. We spent a lot of time and attention on what we needed to this offseason, and we're excited where we are. We got work to do. We got a lot of work to do still. We got 2 practices coming up this week, and then we got 3 more.
Even his eyebrows questioning.
So a lot of walkthroughs and everything to get prepared, but we like where he is.
Now, with some of the injuries at center, do you think that that's a position, unless you have an idea Cody and Lucas are going to be ready for week 1, is that an area where you guys might be active on the waiver cuts next week?
Well, I think we're not going to rule anything out. We're going to be active, looking at the best situation for the Bears, and that's, we're in a good spot there, so we are going to be very open-minded with that and take what's, the best for us, and we'll see what happens.
With Tyreek and the penalties, that situation, he just needs to adjust to how they call those things at this level. Or is there something
he answered that one right?
He's got to get better.
It's probably both. I want to look at it first before I comment on it, but
on his penalties, I'd rather have a corner that's aggressive.
And
I'll
get better from it.
I too. I'm not upset with the handsy stuff. Like, I know Handsy's mom's got it going on, but I like what I see from this.
Yeah,
young
and
buck.
if they're a little bit handsy, What do they say? You put boxing gloves on them in practice. Take those hands away from them.
Where's the other one? It's right here. There it is. Thank you, Ron.
But yeah, I'd rather have Oh, hold on a minute. I got to take this call, Phil. I'll be right back.
With that being said, it's time where I take over the show and tell you the real truth. I did not. Listen, I can't get this out of my head. Gibson, there's undeniable evidence on tape from last year that he was surrounded by a bunch of cupcakes that are preventing. You think about the offensive line, and when you go to the other side of the ball on the defensive line, it's a group effort to get the pass rush going. If you have a shitty 3 technique or a shitty nose man, then the ability to get the pass rush going tends to be even harder because you're getting chipped or you're getting ISO blocked. This stuff happened too much, but Gibson was able to still sniff the quarterback. He was getting close. Those things shouldn't go unnoticed. I think it's a grave error.
Plays have been running for a little bit now, but
Travis Gibson go.
Yeah,
much better than Lewis.
Section from the play fake by the linebackers, and they're trying to drop back into their zone. And
Green.
He was open in the middle, so.
And Walker is a big question. I would like Walker.
Yeah, you're probably going to see again sometime this year. But yeah, I mean, of course, it was a good catch and good run after catch by him, and yeah, just good play overall. So.
How amazing is he after run after catch? It seems like no matter how many people are around him, he always gets more yards.
I mean, he's great. He's definitely one of the better guys I've seen. So just his ability to even kind of go low like that, come up, and then get more yards is going to be great for our offense, great for our team.
In what way do you feel like you're ready for the season to start, and in what way you still want another 2 weeks to fine tune something?
I feel like I'm ready. I think us as a whole team, we're ready. I think the biggest thing is just, of course, mentally preparing for Green Bay and, seeing what they're doing. And, I'm just glad today that, I got a couple of deep shots on the field, although we didn't connect. But it was kind of good. Felt good just throwing the ball.
The first one
downfield
to
DJ Moon. And, we just talked about it.
So
feel good. But I think the only thing now is just, game planning and just, watching film on those guys.
Justin, why did you come out when you came out?
Coach had a play count for me, so that was just the end of my play count.
They're trying to
finish the drive.
Get the coach against the quarterback here.
That's the head man right there, so got to listen to him. But yeah,
it didn't have anything to do with that shot that you took on the previous snap.
Oh no,
he just fucking told you.
He just said he was on a count. You don't agree with it. I'm sure Justin hated it.
I mean, I'm very eager, but I do think it was good work for the backup guys to get in there and get a little bit more playing time today.
I don't get it either, Frazzle.
Praying for those guys to be back in the field soon, but they can't perform their best if they're not at their best. So definitely hoping to have those guys back soon.
What have you thought of Tyson this summer?
Yeah, I mean, Tyson's been great. From day one, he just came in and worked hard. Humble guy, just hard worker, and he's a sponge. He asks a lot of questions.
Field's reaction to his touchdown
about the offense. So he's been a great addition to the
touchdown.
room, and I'm just excited to see what he does in the future. And of course, been excited to see his success that he's had on the field. So it's just great to see because he's a hard worker, and just if you get to know him more as a person, you'll see that he's a very humble person. And,
I don't think Justin Fields sounded like a rookie as a rookie.
Just in general. So definitely happy.
Mitch did in year 4.
Justin, I know the game just ended, but do you have a sense of how these 3 drives today?
Yeah, I don't agree with that either.
I mean, not really, because it's not the same team, not the same plays we're going to be running, not the same, defense. Pretty much saw a lot of man today. I think Green Bay does too much man coverage, but yeah, so not really. Really just felt good to get back on the field again and, just kind of get in that game mode again. So, yeah.
You go about developing comfort with different centers?
I mean, just working with them. The coaches do a great job of making sure that, we get exchanges each and every practice with different centers in case there are injuries and stuff like that. So it's not too big of a difference, all of them are similar in terms of, how they snap the ball under center and stuff like that. So it's not too bad.
So it's been a couple weeks since we talked to you over the last 2 weeks. Where do you think you guys as an offense have made the biggest strides, and what do you still?
We've made 0 strides because they're not happening.
You know,
I didn't play last week.
Question looking back over last
Exactly.
2 weeks.
What is he going to say?
I don't know. I think the biggest thing.
We're not showing
just to answer
anything
your question is really just, we're taking every day, day by day, and really just trying to be better than we were yesterday. So I couldn't tell you what we gotten better as a whole, just because, it's been crazy 2 weeks. We're in Indy practicing there, so it's been a lot.
That's why,
these
as
past
a
2 weeks,
coach, I would have kept him in there.
I just know that
because
we
I'm
just try to be better
thinking
than we were yesterday, and just try to continue to improve each and every day.
confidence,
just attack
as well
every
as
day like
the
it's our last day.
outside.
So as long as we do that, I feel fine, and
I don't want to have
very
nobody
confident
worrying
that we'll
about
be in a good
shit.
spot for week 1. So
I want
So
Green
the
Bay to
defense
know
had a lot
we're
of
coming
talent
on all
during the offseason.
cylinders.
You've obviously practiced against them. What are your impressions of the defense, and what do you expect from them this season?
Yeah, I expect a lot of takeaways. Coach Flus preaches that, and just a lot of 3 and outs, and a lot of places for the offense to get put in a good field position. So it's always good when you have a good defense. That always helps the offensive out, just with field position and takeaways, just getting the ball in a good spot to where you never want to be backed up to be, and then of course never want to go up against the team who's scoring 30 to 40 points a game. That doesn't make our job easier. So it's great to have those guys on the other side of the ball. Great to practice and compete against those guys. So definitely excited for all of them to be back on the field and show out week 1.
Let them
So the whole team, they handle these preseason games differently, and your own team handled them different from week 2 to week 3. Does doing well or doing poorly in a preseason game mean anything when it comes to what week 1's going to look like?
Everything you've seen,
I think
you
so.
won't
I think every time you step on the field, you want to
3rd and 15 deep
your
in.
best.
You will see that.
It's not like if I went out there threw 2 picks today, I would say, "Oh, that doesn't matter. It's preseason." So I think every time you step on the field, you want to perform your best and try to be the best you can be. So so that's really what I try to do, is just every time I step on the field, you try to treat it like it is a real game, because it's not just a preseason game. I don't like just having the mindset, oh, it's a preseason game. Of course, that you do have to be smart in some sense to where are you going to take as many hits or not, or situationally and stuff like that. But in terms of performing well, I think as a competitive football player, and everybody on our team is
next one will be last one.
You want to win, and you want to be your best every time you step foot on the field. So.
Piggybacking off of that a little bit, I know when it comes to regular season, when stuff matters, perception sometimes changes. But you do enter the regular season as a top MVP candidate. Preseason, does that matter to you? Is that motivation for you going into the season at all?
Not really. I'm just focused on what we have going into the building, and from week to week. So that doesn't really matter to me, because having that talk, that doesn't help us win games. So if it did, then I would be excited about it. But at the end of the day, none of that talk matters.
85 is a non-factor here, Willie.
No, just have to go out there and be the best player I can be for my team. So
there's nothing to do with 85.
First down today, you had DJ singled up to the right, and you just talked through the idea to take a shot there too.
Yeah, just Luke said we were going to call that play the first 3rd down we got, and just man on man, he played over the top. It was good play by the defender. He was in a good spot. So sometimes the defense gets you, and probably could have put it a little bit more back shoulder for him to give him a better chance. But just happy DJ prevented an interception right there. So just happened to be the DB was over top, and we caught a play that was taking a deep shot. So
guy was hanging on.
Last one, Justin.
Last one,
I'm off by 1.
Can you just give me 3 things
you
you would like to accomplish this year?
Make the playoffs is one. Make the playoffs, and have a chance to run for the Super Bowl. And number 2 would be really just to be the best leader I can be for my team, and really elevate all of the guys around me to really just influence them and encourage them to take a step that they've never seen themselves take into, and really just just try to be that leader for all of my teammates and my coaches, and just really show them how much I love the game, how much I put into the game. And 3 would just be to win and have fun, and just enjoy this year because, again, like I always say, you never know when your last day of football is going to be playing. So I really just enjoy it to the fullest and, just have fun. So that was your 3. Appreciate you guys.
All right. Appreciate you too. Justin Fields, QB1. I agree with, I forget who said Cole Richardson, Rickelman. That's why I said what I said. I'm a big believer in playing in the scrimmages and getting yourself prepared to play. I never, ever agreed with sitting 50 guys out, watching them with their T-shirts or jerseys on the side. That shit, I just don't get along. I don't get down with that. If it's one series, that they're preparing all week to play that one series like a pro. And I think that gets your mind ready and your performance ready for when the lights do go on. We've been around this fucking team for a long time, seeing the week 1 excuses, the week 6 excuses. I don't have any excuses. Justin shouldn't have any. Flus has none. It's a rebuild. Be patient. I know that you could win, and it's win every down. It's executing and being in the right place and doing the things and playing the right people. That should be like, there's nobody could tell me that Khalil Herbert's your RB1. Not one person. You don't fucking drop a ball. You don't miss 3 blocks. He's a change of pace, slashing, speedy running back that gives you a different look. He's exactly what he was and is. This kid Foreman and Rashawn Johnson run with pad level and power that are going to help a quarterback move the chains. An offense that doesn't.
Well, it's going to be better. It's going to be better for Herbert. You have the 2 battering rams in there.
Exactly.
And then you bring in the guy that can clean up that was averaging 5 yards a clip. Here's Tyson Bagent if you want to listen to him a little bit.
Sure.
What was your reaction to being the number 2?
It was fun. Kind of just like last week, just another opportunity to showcase my talent, show I belong. So it was exciting, especially being at home.
Kid is an athlete, man. There's no questioning the arm. There's no questioning the accuracy.
Zero
I
issue.
feel as if I've
being QB2
proved that I belong in the league. But I think more than anything, just all the hope and motivation I'm providing for my siblings and the people back home.
If they keep PJ as number 3, I'm not going to
really
complain.
What I kind of sit back.
I have no problem with
them
rostering 3 quarterbacks. It's fine.
Right.
The whole camp and preseason and how just everything has fallen into place.
You got the seam route to the tight end. You thought you had it, so you kind of jump up and down. And then next place will take quick. That's the coaching point on letting the first play go and focusing on the second.
Yeah, I think kind of, especially as a quarterback, you kind of have no choice but to just play the next play if the prior play was really good or really bad, and then being able to come back and definitely I was working the right side, working the correct side based on what the defense was providing. Just kind of got to keep it low.
Not only does he belong on the roster,
and
he
progress
belongs
out,
as the number 2
because I think people see
getting
that the
ready
flat
to
ended
play.
up breaking open just because the
This
slant
kid
got
is
ran into
special.
by the flat defender.
He has something that's uncoachable.
You are competing for
He's got an it cloud.
You're the second quarterback.
That's an important part here from Grody.
I just think that it hits home. The fact that I'm, playing for the Chicago Bears really is just what it kind of boils down to, whether that's, second, third, or fourth string, first string. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm just kind of here to show up every day and put my best foot forward.
How do you read that on the interception where Doris does hit the corner? Is he your first read? And then obviously similar, as you mentioned.
Yeah. So we had a slant flat concept on.
There it is. He's supposed to go under the defense.
So really, you're kind of expecting that flat defender to attach to the flat route immediately, and then you've got a really big window for the slant. Flat defender got a little bit too much depth. Him and the slant route ran into each other, which then caused for the receiver to not even be there.
He just told you, right?
Late.
So you forgive yourself on that, just knowing that it was kind of
I forgive myself.
Control there with the bump.
I just think I got to kind of just do a good job of seeing the field. I mean, I think it's kind of in a sense, it's good to get the first one kind of out of the way because, those things happen in football. But, just going forward,
As I said,
kind of right now, despite all the success that, has been had and all the good plays, kind of what I'm thinking about right now is just how I should have progressed out flat on that play.
On a slant flat concept, it's going to get picked. You have to run through
Yeah,
it.
I was just talking to Coach McCook, my head coach in Shepherd. I'm one of my best friends is his son Mike McCook, and I was just texting him, saying it's a shame Coach didn't run me more in college. But yeah, I think just like being able to utilize my legs, especially when you get situations where they're in man coverage, so they're focused on running with the receivers, and a lot of times the middle of the field can open up for you. So just being able to extend plays when receivers aren't necessarily wide open.
This is your QB too.
Just really just
break it to these haters.
What was that moment like for you when you find the end zone?
This is how you develop a quarterback.
It was loud. It was fun.
Tom Brady was a QB
and really home or away, just being able to get in the end zone, whether
Aaron
throwing the ball
Rodgers.
or running the ball, is pretty electrifying and
QB2,
kind of
Drew
that
Brees.
addicting feeling. And
QB2.
one of the reasons why
Put them in there,
I'm
they
so addicted
develop
to
like
football
that.
is little moments like that.
Your expectations the next 48 hours or so as you kind of wade through the
If
uncertainty.
any question, if this
My
kid's better than
expectations,
PJ Walker, you're just lost.
Just how you handle it.
Yeah, I'm just whatever happens, I believe in a power that's higher than myself. So I know that whichever
Even
way the
Santa
coin
Claus
lands,
agrees,
that, everything will be okay, and just got to keep taking it one day at a time.
Backup quarterbacks often will come for guys on the whole team. It's not
Yes,
often the undrafted guy
UDFA.
who comes up the price. Can you feel that? Can you tell that that's kind of happening around you? Or I know you say not to be aware.
If you follow TTNL,
Yeah, I feel like I notice that people notice it.
Mike,
more so than
it
I
takes
notice
more
it,
than
because for
one
me, I think I'm
preseason
just
game.
playing football, and I've just been
Here, I
playing
guess.
football, ever since I was a little kid. But
About
I think that
training
people,
camp,
I can
OTAs,
sense that people
everything.
are surprised that
Nobody
maybe
said today that
I've been
made
able to
him
have any
QB2.
success
You said it
coming
last
from
week
where I
also.
came from.
It's way more than
You
just
said that you
one
feel like
preseason
you're starting to
game.
belong in the league. So you feel like
early
feel like you should
in the morning.
Oh, I mean, that's not up for me to decide. I just try to do my best every day. That's up for, that's up for the coaches and GMs and everybody to decide. But, I mean, like I said, I don't have any regrets. I feel like I put my best foot forward every day.
No regrets.
I worked really hard at this. So, but that'll be up to them whether that was enough or not.
the guys who have lived through a day.
Enough
before,
for me, man.
Kind of what
You
do
have
every day,
my
what
support
your
in
mind
being
needs to be.
the backup.
Yeah, my agents help me out a lot with that. I try not to. I didn't talk to any of the players
There you
about
go,
it just
Willie.
because I
I'll
know
put
it's
it up on
probably
the
on their
screen
mind
for you
just
so
as
you can
much as
keep
it
on
is
repeating the
everybody's,
same thing.
it's
Okay,
on
you're
everybody's
fucking
mind.
famous now.
But I have my agent, fill me in on just like what the process is like, what the week looks
Willie,
like.
don't be
so I thought that
Carmen
was a good
Vasa.
conversation to have.
Whatever.
You said you noticed.
You don't put a guy out there for 2.5 quarters.
I know how they'll
What is
load
the
me.
list?
I'll type the same thing 87 fucking times.
You don't put a guy in 2.5
Yeah, there's
quarters
been a lot of
thinking
that. But I
you're
mean, even more so than that,
turn
like
around and let
the
him
most
go.
least surprised people I think in this whole thing are my family and friends, just because
good.
just because I've been able to be around them and they kind of know who I am and what I've been able to accomplish, like even though it was at a lower level. But it's just a funny thing where through camp or maybe through preseason you make a play and instead of just people maybe instead of just saying good job, they're like, dang, good job, like really good job. And I'm just kind of like, thanks. But you can just kind of notice that even when there's been a lot of more questions.
Brady?
Just like, hey man, where's your school from?
He was just
what's
They
your
didn't
role?
develop them.
Just little things like that. So I think
great
that
call.
it's exciting for people.
He just was better than Bledsoe.
Hey, thank you.
It's not even a true story, bro. See how we can rewrite history? Who's that? Oh my God. You can't rewrite history, guys. These are the things that truly happen.
No, he was in our, honestly, he was in our chat 20 years ago or 23 years ago when he was drafted. I remember he put that. This kid doesn't need to be developed at 199. He's just better.
He's just better than Bledsoe.
Yeah.
Take him in the sixth. Take him in the sixth.
We can get him at 199.
Better than Bledsoe. Don't worry about it. Everything will be fine. But yeah, that's your QB2, and that's your GM and your coaching and your scouts finding talent position where the Bears have lacked in an effort, in our opinion, on this network to draft young developmental talent at the quarterback position. It's hilarious. The 3 guys that we really loved to draft were obviously Bagent and Shane. Hopefully I
Can you
get
address
that
this one,
video
Phil?
here.
Because my head's going to explode, but I'll just let you take it.
Hold on. Bagent isn't a Brady talent. Brady had a massive, no, he did not.
Wrong.
Bagent has nothing exceptional about his arm. He's thrown slants.
Wrong.
And 0 for 2 in one sentence.
So when the play call
can't
calls
say
for
he
a slant, you mean he shouldn't throw deep? Is that how that works?
If you
I mean, you can do that
overthrow
on
him and
Madden.
show
You can
your-
do that on Madden, right?
If you throw your arm strength on a slant and throw a fade, it's gonna be incomplete.
Anybody that says that Brady came out in the draft with a massive arm is either a liar or doesn't
They
know what they're
don't
talking
know.
about and trying to prove a point.
Yeah, that's not true, Mike. You might be Mike's probably a great guy. I
Oh
don't know.
no, I'm just saying it's
But
simply
this
not
is-
true. When
none
people
of
say
this
that
is
you
true.
can't, when people say that you can't improve your arm strength, that's
You
also
really
a
can't.
myth. He did big
And
time.
Tom Brady did it by using band workouts where he's using weight on a rubber band and these bands to use his arm in a certain motion like throwing to gain arm strength. And
Like
that's
you're not getting it, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
go watch the Moss season. What?
Yeah.
His 8th season in the NFL?
You're 8, bro.
Or 10, whatever it was.
We just
He
said you can
improved.
improve
This
arm
kid's
strength.
a rookie,
He did
bro.
not come into the league with
Oh
a
my
massive arm,
God.
Mike. Part of the reason that he fell down and it to 199, man. You just, like I said, I know you have the benefit of hindsight and looking back and just saying, oh, fuck, I'm Belichick in my own brain because I have all the knowledge up here, even though it was 23 years ago. It's not the way that it works. He did not have a massive arm coming out. His arm strength built up over time by year 8 when he got Randy Moss, clearly.
Build him up, buttercup, baby. Don't you let him down. No, we won't let him down. I'm going to try to play this clip before the draft or before or during the draft. And I want you to see, if you were watching, you would have seen our coverage of the draft. And this clip is credited to our guy Bullets.
Bullets
shared this
Or
clip of
as Shane, your boy, is still there from
live coverage of the
Tyson Bagent from Shepherd.
Well, when we get into it, Bears are picking 258, I would end my draft with Ali Gay, and I would 100% pull the trigger. I know a lot of people don't agree with taking a quarterback here because it's very rare but listen, if you don't swing the bat, you never get to find out if they make it. So, yeah, Tyson Bagent, I think he's got traits that are absolutely draftable traits, and see what you got. I mean,
the hell is this
you're
guy eating
concerned
for,
about
Shane?
him
I don't
replacing
think he
Nathan
cares about
Peterman? Who gives a shit? Get a young kid in
Love
here.
it.
I mean, look at the Philadelphia Eagles just
9
spent
hours of coverage.
250
What are
plus
you doing?
million on a quarterback, and they drafted your guy at quarterback, Phil. They went up and got Tanner McKee.
There you go. So there's Shane taking his shot live in our draft coverage. I wanted Tanner McKee, Stetson Bennett, DTR, or Bagent. And you see that you got this kid undrafted. And listen, if there's something I'm coming away from this game with, I loved what I saw from our rookie defensive tackle Pickens. I love what I saw from Bagent. I love what I see from Gibson and Lewis. I like those guys. I loved Ojulari. How do you say his name?
Ojulari. BJ?
Ojulari. The corner from Iowa.
Oh, yep. Jesus Christ. I'm blanking on
Iowa
him.
corners. I'm a big
Yep.
fan.
The white boy.
Jim Miller brought him up. Moss playing for the
Oh, yeah.
Broncos.
Riley Moss. Yep.
Yeah. But I liked what I see from the corner, number 26. Good football. Obviously, Stevenson. And
the Bears claimed him is like December of last year, which he was a third rounder out of Penn State. So they see something there, with him.
How about the kid Thomas at safety, number 38?
AJ? Yeah.
AJ Thomas.
He made some nice tackles out there, yeah.
Made some open field, nowhere to go, but make the play tackles. He was there. So you got to like that. You liked what you see in Jalen Johnson. He made a great football play. Ojemudia. Thank you. Yeah. Ojemudia. So there's things that I liked what I saw from Travis Bell. I really did. I like what I see from the kid.
Travis Bell had a couple not so great reps for his resume when I focused in on him.
Yeah.
The one time, but yeah, you'll see it when you watch it back. But like I said, you're not going to be. He's, believe it or not, he'll improve in the NFL too. Maybe even his arm strength.
I like the tackle, number 74, Collins. I know we found out he's 30 years old, but hey.
Yeah, I was shocked.
As a swing tackle, you got to like what you see in him out there. That kid showed me some stuff. And the kid Haskins from USC, undrafted, I was watching him purposely to see and I really like what I mean, D should never have been out there. This guy, he's I know they've kept him on the practice squad, but he's just, what did you call him? The T-Rex arms?
T-Rex, yeah. I believe he may have the shortest arms they've ever recorded.
Tackle?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll have to look that up.
Skoronski and him
also has a weak arm. Deesh does.
Yeah. He's just
not massive.
There. I liked what I saw from my guy, J-Rock. Dieter Eisland. I was very focused, obviously, on the center position, and I thought he did a great job. And Roshan Johnson continues to impress. Both the hands of Deonta Foreman and Johnson are there.
Yeah, they're going to be active they're going to be active in the waiver wire, especially. And I mean, the Reisner is still out there, but like I said, at this point, for him to still be available, you have to wonder if there's not something else beyond ability involved there with him, unless somebody is just waiting to sign him after week 1, and then that unguarantees his deal. It moves it from being guaranteed for the season with him being a vet to only guaranteeing it week to week on a per game basis.
Right.
And that's something that people need to understand, that going into this. When the Bears cut down to their final 53, it's going to change the next day. And then it's going to change the next day after that. And it's going to change again
now,
after week 1.
I had this question for you. They put our guy Dante Pettis on IR. Yep. Why aren't they putting Tevin Jenkins on IR?
Can't do it. You can't do it. Dante Pettis is done for the year now, unless they come to an injury settlement with him and release him. If you put Tevin on,
bring someone back
in season, so Tevin has to make the final 53. So that's what's going to cost you a roster spot.
What happens?
You have to cut down to 53. He has to be on it. Once he's on the final 53, then you move him to IR. He's going to miss, the first 6 weeks or
so. It has to be in season that you could do this IR return.
Dante Pettis is now done.
He's
done.
So this Bill Robbins point makes even more, because I felt like, Tyler Scott did look good, returning kicks and punts.
Man,
for a rookie.
He stays outside. He's gone. He
would have been gone.
All he had was the kicker.
He should have just pressed like he was going inside, go bounce out, you're gone. He has all of that speed. But
so he's got to make the final 53, and then you can make your move from there. And you're going to see vets brought in.
So let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
Final 53. Do they have us? Because you're now 2 weeks away from the season, right? So
they got it. The cut down day is Tuesday. They can make the moves right now if they want to.
So that's what I'm saying. They keep Jenkins on. Is there a time limit to set your starting 53 or your 53 for the season this week?
It's Tuesday. Tuesday, like 4 p.m. Your final cuts have to be in.
No, I get that. So now you get your 53.
Mm-hmm.
When can I put Tevin on IR? It has to be after the Packers game?
No. It could be the next day.
It could be on Wednesday. Then.
Once you submit your final 53, they can put him, they can move him to IR and then brings it. The problem is it's costing you a roster spot on your initial 53.
For one day.
But then that person has to go through the waiver process, and you can't claim the player that you just released. It doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. So let's just say your final 5 spots on your roster. Now that's why it's important that everybody go listen to the Hogan Johns show when they talked to the former director of player personnel, Josh Lucas, for the Bears. They sat down with him for like 90 minutes, and it was actually fascinating. And he's like, everybody gets so involved thinking that every single spot on the 53 is absolutely worth its weight in gold. And he goes, and everybody in the NFL is just, they kind of realize that it's your top 46, and then the back end of your guys are pretty much on a rotating basis, and they're not going to make or break your team moving forward. But he made interesting points about Bagent before this game. He said, if it's your 4th or 5th string linebacker or your 6th or 7th wide receiver, like we brought up Braverman.
Yeah.
Because we were fans here, and you're worried about him when everybody's saying, oh, white wide receiver that made some plays. He's going to New England to play with a quarterback that's got no arm strength. But sorry, Mike.
Mike's got another doozy coming up.
He said it's
Mike
very different when it comes to a quarterback. It's very different, especially with the new rules. But he did add this caveat. He's like, seeing what I have seen of Tyson Bagent so far, if I'm on another team, not Chicago, I'm not pounding the table saying we have to claim this kid because I haven't seen enough. But if I'm Chicago, I don't even take the chance, because these guys just with traits that you believe in, they don't come along very often. So it's
right.
He really gave you both sides of the stick, but Tevin is going to cost you a roster spot, and you're going to have to waive somebody that you're going to be willing to lose.
Right.
For 24 hours, where he it doesn't even matter if you bring him, they may not want to come back. That's the way that it works.
Right. That's what I needed to know. Here's a doozy. I like what I saw from Bagent today. He's clearly either quoting me or you or anybody.
Mike, everybody give Mike a big wave. He's had his fun. See him, Mike.
Mike's gone. I like
Mike's
Mike.
Going. He's
well,
fine.
Mike, I gotta say this. If you can't see the talent and the performance there, the fact that he moved the chains, drove you down, hit the tight end beautifully in the seam for a touchdown, then the QBR, and that's why this network's called The Tape Never Lies, not the stats never lie, because the stats always fucking lie. I've had people tell me stats that make Mitch Trubisky look like an all-time great for 2 games. It's like you can manipulate numbers any which way you want.
So Mike just sent me a video message.
Well, in case you don't know my name, my mama named me Rufus. I'm a 3rd generation player. My mama named me Rufus. Daddy and granddaddy got the same name. My mama named me Rufus. Who? And
Good job, Mike.
My boy Rufus. Mike is now going to be called Rufus. A lot of people talking about my guy from UConn, the big fullback Burns. You gotta like what you see in Burns, but I think
He's
they're
not
gonna
making the
stash
team.
Burns on the practice squad here. But I like what I see in Burns. I just think, Blazing Game has already gotten a roster spot here. But this football team obviously is not going to be defined by this preseason game. They're going to be defined by Green Bay versus Chicago, week 1 game, America's game, Shane. That's a 4:25 kick here on the East Coast. So 3:25 for you guys, you real fans that live in Chicago. God forbid anybody outside is a fan. You can't be, apparently. No. That's probably the dumbest tweet of the week.
Yeah. Well, I already starred Carmen Vitale's for that, but
she's definitely on the top too.
Yeah.
But I like how Burns is playing. Listen, the things I didn't like, I still see Dexter standing up too high. I still see Alan Williams soft ass zone. Is it going to change come Green Bay? That creates anxiety for me. Like,
yeah,
you got to do some different
I'm
things.
never going to like the 3rd and 13 and your guys are playing 9 yards off.
Yeah.
No,
29 yards off the safety.
Yeah.
Sick.
Oh, I was talking about the safety. Yes, I'm talking about the corner.
Oh,
the
you're
corner's
talking
also
the
9
corner.
yards off. Yeah. Yeah.
There could be a trade for Chris Jones. I mean, then
I would
that's
listen.
A game wrecker interior.
That's
just
an
don't. Interior game wrecker.
It'll be interesting to see what they
Let's put him.
They do. Yeah.
Let's put him at nose.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I'm
29 years old, and I mean, it's going to cost you one of your first rounders. That's
definitely. And then you have to give up yours and bet that Carolina is going to be 1 overall.
And then you're giving him the richest defensive interior lineman contract in NFL history. On top of it,
an animal. Unblockable if he wants to be unblockable. Those kind of players you pay and you don't worry about.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I get it. I'm
with you.
I'm skeptical that I'm skeptical that they're gonna flip I'm very skeptical they're gonna flip one of those. If they do make the trade, that means they're all in on QB1.
Right. I agree with you. I was going to say you'd have to be
and you just hope that Tyson Bagent's arm strength improves moving forward. Oh wait, he's not here anymore. My bad.
Oh my God. Knowledge Untamed. Please, I'm putting this comment up because this is the excuse and the story every year. I'm not going to tell you right now that I know anything of what the Bears' plan is going to be. But if it looks anything like it does today, and we've been there and seen that it does sometimes, I can remember year 100. We scored 3 points. We lost 7-3 because all of a sudden, Clinton Dix had to come out, and now all of a sudden, Deion Bush is out there. And Jimmy Graham is getting wide open down the field on a day where the defense just stifled Rodgers. And they had one drive. I'm old enough to remember that game. So the Bears offense, I'm sorry. I'm going to say this. You have what I said. Me and Coach Tomlin come from the same Atosham school. Believe a boxer has to go out there and spar, get ready. I hope. How many plays did Justin total in the preseason? He played 3 in the first game, so 20 plays.
I think he got 7 snaps in the first game, correct?
Maybe.
Wasn't it 7 snaps? I think it
wasn't 7
snaps.
3 completions, so yeah, 7 snaps.
Yeah, 7 snaps and then 13 today.
So hopefully we see the.
Well, you just think you think of little things, Phil. I was thinking about this today. Heading in 2 preseason games before we played game number 1, if I told you, did we see one deep ball to
Not
Tyler
one.
Scott?
Not one.
And that was something tells me you're going to see that very early, week 1 versus Green Bay.
That's what we're going to be breaking down and bringing you up to that. We're going to break down the roster. Again, the tapeneverlies.com, become a patron, be looking at some of the tape. And obviously, once the season starts, that's where we delve really into the story, where there's nowhere to hide and there's no excuses. You can have a lot of frauds out there breaking down tape or what they think they see on surface level analysis. But you come to the OGs for the real truths on this football field and the passion that I'm going to bring, and Shane's going to bring, and Eric Kramer and Zorich.
Real quick, Phil, here's the updated version. Grody went a little bit short on his quote directly from PJ Walker, and here's the extended version that he put up. Ryan Cox just shared with me. Grody says, I asked PJ Walker if the team has been upfront with him about competing for QB2. Yeah, absolutely. I ain't no fool. I can read the room. I know what it is. At the end of the day, it's a business. And if you ain't performing, you ain't going to be able to play.
And that's what it should be.
And I respect PJ Walker for his brutal fucking honesty there. That's fantastic. No bullshit. And that's what I like to hear from guys. That means he's owning it. And that's important and critical to me. If I'm assessing these players and if I'm a GM and if I'm in that position, I don't want to hear PJ Walker come out and say that he's playing well when everybody can fucking see that he's not playing well. So my respect level for PJ just went up a little bit there. That means that he realizes it too.
Listen,
I agree.
I don't even know.
I agree with Mo real quick. Sorry to take that down, but I'm keeping 3 quarterbacks on the 53-man roster. Yes, 100%, because everybody's saying the vet and the influence on Justin. To me, yes, that can be a part of it in the classroom. It's not just for him. It's also for who should be your QB2 and Tyson Bagent. PJ Walker, I think they've made their bed with Nathan Peterman by not playing him. I think that everybody knows that. So I'm assuming that the 3, if they keep 3, are settled. But Bagent plays into that. PJ Walker's been around, been in different leagues. I think he can be a huge benefit to Bagent behind the scenes.
I just will continue to say the truth and will continue to not bash, but continue to speak the truth about fraudulent manipulation of analysis.
Yeah.
And that's
real
what
quick,
we do here.
Let me address this with Mandy. Mandy, I have a couple of kids, and I always tell my kids, you should refrain from any type of comment about anything if you're not well informed. Internet's a big place. And if you think that we go out of our way to speak to people just on a whim when things are not warranted, that means that you're wrong. So I would just say that before you want to come in here on a perch and think that you want to talk down to us about some flaws that you think that we may have. Sometimes things are warranted and you're just ignorant to the situation. That's fine. Go become more informed. There you go.
There you go. No, you just said my truth. I was saying the same kind of thing. There's no truth but the truth. That's nowhere to hide.
Yeah,
just like I will never pull back my word.
It's not like we're sitting here clipping things to create a narrative. We don't do that here.
Drop the mic, Shane. Thank you, Shane. Become a patron. The tapeneverlies.com. More about what Shane's talking about during the season. You'll even see some more of this stuff. But that's trolls are going to troll, as Tony says. All I ask is that you.
I'm not calling Mandy a troll. Mandy's been around. She's a supporter of us. I'm not calling Mandy a troll, but if I know you, it doesn't matter if I know you, if you're a patron or whatever, if you make a comment that I wholeheartedly disagree with when you're misinformed about what you think you know, I'll make a comment on it live on air. That's the difference between what Phil and I do here and other entities do. We'll address it right here.
Thank you, Sergio. The best post-game show on the Chicago Bears on the planet went a hell of a lot longer than we ever even thought we'd go on this last preseason scrimmage, whatever it is. I think you have a situation here where if I was, how about this, Shane? We'll end the show like this. If I was to define this preseason as a word or a sentence, I would be, my adjective for it would be concerned, because I don't know who this team is based on what I've seen in preseason as a whole. I have no idea what to expect come Green Bay versus Chicago. I have zero. And I don't know who their players are at the end. If I see Green starting at right end, it's like having Richard Dent starting Corey Wooten.
I don't know what they see there. That is one of my biggest issues that I have with this preseason. Is the Rasheem Green. I've heard people say that he's dominating in practice. Well, that's okay. Well, show me something.
Right.
You know, when the lights come on, something.
Yes, Judge. Are you feeling good? Well, I'll come out there.
But real quick, Phil.
Yes.
There you go.
Breaking news. The tape never lies. Network breaking news.
Yes, Phil. TTNL network is finally back up on Apple Podcasts for everybody.
There you go.
And when you go over there, please go over, type in TTNL network and select TTNL network with the navy blue logo.
The navy
not
blue
with the white one. We're in the process of removing the one with the white logo, but please go to Apple Podcasts if that's the delivery service that you use, and subscribe to the one TTNL network with the navy blue logo. And if you use Apple Podcasts, all of our pod versions of the show will update there daily as new shows come out.
I want to address my guy, James Daniel. I don't know if it's no S there. It's not the Steelers offensive guard that I miss with the Bears. I did have some concerns with QB1's throws. The one low, not really. The Mooney throw in the end zone, he's got to put it out there to the corner cone, under through that shot. And Mooney could get a call there, an interference, or a better opportunity. So that's what I'm saying. I don't have much to go on this preseason to what Justin's going to be week one there. There still are concerns for me with QB1, as there are going to be concerns with a bunch of people with their starting quarterbacks. Justin's got to go out there. There's no excuses. There's nothing for me to give. This is preseason. I need to see it. And you heard Justin, to his credit, say it. It's about going out there, not the vanilla plays. It's delivering and playing your best. And that's all we can hope. That's why I'm right with Shane with Green. I believe Walker is a better 3 technique. I have not seen him stand out on the edge. We saw what Eberflus did with Muhammad last year, who's probably one of the worst edge players.
Well, when it comes to setting the edge, I think one time all season, like literally one time.
So I have some concerns with this team going forward. There's really good pieces there. I don't think you subject Travis Gibson or Lewis to the way you can't. Pass rushers don't grow on trees. So
No.
you got Ngakoue, and you got 2 more guys that can get to the passer really pretty well.
If
I
there's
like
a
what I
place that
saw
you
from Jones.
if there's a place that you want to go heavy, that's where it is.
Exactly.
You want to keep throwing
Totally
fastballs. So
agree.
you want to know how you stop those deep ends? Get after the
Get after
fucking
the
quarterback.
Exactly. Make them throw it a little bit earlier. That'll
Yeah,
help a
exactly.
deep end every time. But those things I'm concerned with. We broke down Walker and Muhammad on our patron side, X's with the O's, in fact, me and my father, and we all thought, including Shane, that he was showcased better at inside as a 3 technique when he was asked just to attack the line of scrimmage, penetrate, and get through. I'm sorry. That's what I thought this defense was about. That's how I would coach it up. So Pickens and Walker show more to me than Jones. Well, Jones is pretty good. Jones is like a blue collar worker going to where he's not gonna blow up. I thought Jones would be more disruptive than he's been, but let's see what he does with some better pass rush around him. But the 3 technique is a concern with me because, and I want to say this before the season, Dexter is not a 3 tech. They continue to put him there, but he's not a flat back, destroy the line of scrimmage. He stands up every rep.
We talked about that on draft day because I believe it was Courtney Cronin and she's being proven right at this point because she said that he would be the 3 tech and that Pickens would be playing the 1. But I would tend to agree with you. Just looking at them, I would love to see.
This causes me like anxiety with Alan Williams and the D-line coach, just like Chris Morgan and Getsy. These guys have no pass for me. The coach as well. I don't have a great vibe about head coach Flus going into this week 1. I will say this. They got to win.
Oh, yeah.
Can't get in there and lose, bro.
No, agree. Yeah, you can't start off 0-1 with everything that's on the line for this season and with what has unfolded in Green Bay with the change at quarterback. You can't get off with a stumble versus Green Bay at home with Jordan Love and, leading them. And you got it. If you put pressure on him, Carter's talked about it a little bit today. You put pressure on Jordan Love. He's a different quarterback. You can't let him sit back there and have all day and just say, "Oh, we're going to win with our front 4."
We're gonna sit back in zone. We're gonna win. Fucking blitz, run blitz, 3rd down blitz. Challenge them. Give them different looks. Do everything in your power to win 1 game at a time. 1 game at a time. I don't have a good vibe about Alan Williams at all. And listen, we'll be talking about it. And it should be, if you're going to that game, it should be, as James is saying, like a playoff fucking atmosphere.
It's
you fans have to be the 12th man beyond anything we've ever seen.
It's not just the fans. I think Eberflus and the coaching staff have to coach that way leading up to this game.
I agree with you, bro.
You have to set the tone. Listen, you think that it's negative in here now. You go out and lose to Green Bay week 1. This chat is going to be more toxic than it is after a week 3 loss in preseason. Just buckle up.
I'm not like you, Otis. I'll never be that. As a coach, I'm a fucking maniac. I don't want to lose. I don't have a auxiliary fucking backpack on my back when I'm coaching or talking about football with a parachute. It's only 1 game. It's the motherfucking tone setter against Green Bay without Aaron Rodgers.
Under the circumstances, it's way more than just 1 game.
Way bigger than that.
It is, especially with a young team, with a rebuilding team. You go
We
out
lost
there,
the first one to the
you punch him in the fucking face, and it can be a tone setter. Just listen, 2019, you come out, we went back, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, Phil, with that first play out of T formation when Tariq fumbled the ball. He gets that clean and goes. He houses it on the first
and the
play
whole
in a
energy of the
season that you
stadium.
think you're going to the Super Bowl. Everything can change. You have to come out in a playoff atmosphere, coaches, players, fans included, and get going.
Listen, this network will be different than other people. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You can't lose that game. And you don't. You have to do everything in your power to let it be known that you're not going to lose it. You can't be. It's only one game. Yeah, at the end of the season, we could tell the story of what Shane's talking about, because I know from experience, and many of you that might not even be active in the chat and you're just listening, you've coached or played, and you know that one play, that one player that came up, put his motherfucking face into the ball, popped it out, and you're playing against a team that's 20 times better than you, but you got a turnover, you picked it up and scored. The whole energy of confidence in your team changed. So don't tell me it's one game, because it ain't. It's about a whole new culture and a whole new coaching staff. It's very relevant that these guys are the same fucking organization that kowtowed to Aaron Rodgers and didn't have a comeback to him saying, I own you. You think that happens on Ditka's watch? Hell fucking no. And that's what made the Bears great.
And you can't take the podium. You can't take the podium as a player and say, well, yeah, he kind of does. You know, I agree.
Exactly, bro. You need a change, and you got to do it starting out that week. Whether you like Fields.
Again, Mandy, if you want to hit me up, at Wazram on Twitter, I'll talk to you about it, because you are so ridiculously misinformed. You're making yourself look foolish at this point, and that's fine because you're misinformed. You think you know, and I know you put in there that you don't sugarcoat shit because you're clearly a badass. That's fine. That's fine. I still respect you, but don't come into the chat when you're misinformed. You have access to talk to Phil and I. You can reach out to us. That's fine. You're coming into the chat with a vendetta on a fucking high horse to try to prove a point that you're completely fucking misinformed on. That's fine. And if you get pissed off about my reaction to it, it's because what we do here matters to me. We don't go out of our way to do things or to say things to other people if it is not warranted. One more time, you are misinformed. Don't sugarcoat your bullshit, like you said in the comment, but I'm still going to fucking call it out. Your bullshit. Because what you're doing right now is bordering on complete fucking nonsense. Hit me up at Wazram, Twitter, if you want to talk. You don't have to come into the chat room on a fucking high horse trying to prove a point where you can run back to other people and say, I stuck up for you guys. See, I didn't take any bullshit. I don't sugarcoat anything. Fuck that.
Mitch Trubisky's misinformed too. 100%, Shane. 100%.
Exactly, Mandy. I know I'm off because I called you out, and that's where that starts. You put in the chat that you don't sugarcoat anything because that's what you want to put across. Hit me up on Twitter. We'll talk about it. Like adults, it's fine.
Fired up.
No, it does, because it pisses me off because Mandy's misinformed and she's trying to get other people, and so she can go say, "Oh, see what I did because I did this. I went and defended you guys." It's fine. It's fucked up, but I'm going to call it out when I call it out. It's the way that we work here. We'll talk to anybody on here about it. Anybody.
There you go. We keep it 100. That's what we do. We do a show, Keep It 100 on Wednesday nights. And the reality of the truth after every Bears game. Yes, the rant will be back right after Green Bay versus Chicago.
Yep, I can call you out when you're in my chat room on my show, Mandy. Over and over telling me what we need to do and how we need to run our show. Again, you're misinformed, and it's fine. If you want to be educated on the situation, you have the ability to hit me up.
Shane has given you an opportunity to talk to him personally. Take that.
It's fine. I'm just saying, people sometimes people don't like, they want to just stay in the chat and do the stuff. But when I see misinformed nonsense, I'm going to call it out. That's fine.
Well, take advantage. Here's my advice. Take advantage of the opportunity to talk.
And I'm not talking about the person that you're talking in
You
there.
keep
I'm talking in general terms. You're naming a person, and that person wasn't even on my mind. I'm just talking in general terms. You're saying that we're calling out creators for implying that we're doing it for no reason at all, but I'm done talking about it. So hit me up and we can chat.
We'll do a special show, Shane, and we'll point out why. Listen, I'll just say this. We've never hidden from the truth of the fact that other people, whether they be the media, have narratives. We've made songs about blog boys creating narratives. We've showcased on tape why best stability is availability. Is it true? We've always, we were the first ones to tell you Matt Nagy was a shoe salesman, the walrus. We go down all of this stuff. And because we say it without any hesitation from the heart and the passion of a football mind, then you're going to get labeled a certain way when people don't like the truth. So the truth is, if you're going to say a dumb tweet, he's going to call you out. And if you go out there stealing other people's stuff or manipulating analysis in a way, or cutting and making sound bites that say something that never was said and all of this stuff, then you're going to get called out by this network. And it's that simple. We've had Dan Wiederer on the show confronting this kind of stuff. Has David Hall come on? No. Try to get him on. Speed Bump Charlie. That's right. All of that stuff. This is where the truth is going to come. Who was calling? Me and Olin Kreutzer on the same show disagreeing about Sam Mustafa, for God's sake. We don't hide the truth. Curls is the fourth phase. All of this stuff is here. I created the term blog boy, and I see it used everywhere. Am I going, let me get the naming rights for this? No. All of that stuff will be on this network, and if you have a problem, you could reach out. And I still stand by my Tupac thoughts. Vito. And I will release my top 20 hip-hop MCs coming up, and right before Green Bay versus Chicago. It'll be the truth. You come in here, exactly, Tom. You get discussions. We open up. There's vulnerability. There's reality. And there's passion. And that's where you go. We're going to bring you, the fan, on to talk about your passion and your pride. But listen, I don't know about Justin Fields. He's got to tell me game one.
Yeah,
because there's not enough to go on. I don't know about.
This is his year to do it. It's his year to do it, Phil. I mean, if he doesn't go out and become an MVP candidate this year, are they going to move off of him? No, I don't think so. But if he shows incremental progress, that's what it is. Listen, I don't think the Bears, and people don't like to hear this, they're not going from 3 wins to Super Bowl contenders. And that's what we all want. That's our end game. But we want to see progress. And it's hard to see that all the time with the way that preseason is set up. And you're not going to see it in 20 fucking snaps from QB1 with an offensive line in front of him that's in flux. It just is what it is. We have yet to see. I mean, I saw somebody calling out Tremaine Edmonds today when he over pursued on it's his first fucking time he's been out there in forever. You know what I mean? We haven't.
It's okay. He did over pursue. You're right.
Oh, no, he did.
He did say he's not good because he's going to over pursue.
But that's what we fall into.
Exactly. And on this network, listen, I didn't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to go after Charles Leno. I watched hours and hours of, and at some point it just overwhelms. And it's the same thing here. Todd Collins, Mike Glennon, Rex Grossman, Jay Cutler, Caleb Haney. So all of this stuff is going to be analyzed. Justin Fields is an open book. Those people saying he sucks and you have no fucking clue. Because as a guy that's an analyst, a coach, a player, and someone that I hope that you respect, and that's why there's 700 of you watching this show, I will tell you, I have no idea who Justin Fields is this season until Green Bay.
Oh, yeah. The story is not even going to be written there either.
Oh, it isn't. But
yeah.
This season, the improvement, all the stories,
you're gonna
all the training, interviews,
you're going to have a pretty good idea by, weeks 8, 9, and 10 of the trajectory.
I'll know who
of where
this coach
is
by week 3. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you if Eberflus is the real head coach or not by week 3. That's my truth. I'll know because I'll know what personnel you're using. I'll know the performance. I'll know if it's politics. But listen, there was a lot of passion today for a third preseason.
Oh, yeah. And just listen, and I don't want people to listen, I 100% respect Mandy, and she's been a supporter of us. And I don't want people calling her out in the chat or anything like that. I want her to still support us, and I want her to be in the chat rooms. That's not what it's about. I'm just saying, under the situation, TTNL gets painted a certain way because we will talk about things that people do not want to talk about, and we will call things out that people don't want called out. We've done it on here, like Phil said to Dan Weeder. We talked about it. Dan Weeder on our airwaves asked why people look at him a certain way, and I said, well, Dan, it's because you're so overtly negative and you talk down to the fans. And I think sometimes beat reporters, especially some of the old school guys that have went to college, journalism majors and came up through the ranks that way, look at things like that Phil and I do and all these other podcast versions, Greg Braggs, all of these people, they look at it and we're essentially all doing the same thing. And they just took a much longer pathway to get here. And I think that there's some disrespect involved in that. Like, if you look at the Bears beat reporters, I always laugh. They want to pretend like they don't give a shit, but they get very agitated. Listen to him talk about Tyson Bagent. We know a guy that covers the Bears that doesn't want to say his true feelings on Tyson Bagent because he's worried about what people are going to think. You're never going to get that here, ever.
Listen, Muhammad says it right there. Of course, I'm a human being. I honestly care about so many people. I've had so many people with horrible lives and stories sharing with me, and I want to help every single one of them with my heart of hearts. I got a lot going on in my life too. People don't realize me and Shane don't do this for a living. We don't have $1 billion company backing us, supporting us. We have ourselves doing all of it. And we have some great surrounding people and producers like Ivan, Ron G, Caden Whitlow, and obviously Chris Jackal is always doing shit. But this is what we do here, and we want the interaction of your passion. TTNL is never going to be for the person who just wants surface level bullshit. If you want the truth and you want the passion and you want the analysis that goes along with it, I just ask that you understand that it's going to come with a personality. And me and Shane fucking argue. We never set up an argument. We argue because we're passionate. Greg Braggs is one of my friends. I bust his balls all the time. But he had to get to know that it's coming from a good place. So you can like whoever you like, do whatever you want, but we aren't going to change. And I certainly ain't catering or being, I will say this, we, as in me and Shane, have turned down big opportunities to work with known companies if we change our act. And I said, we ain't changing our act because it ain't an act. Or for you English professors, it isn't an act. So, as Otis says, I'm not going to change, nor will Shane. And I'm excited for my first rant because I don't know where it's going to be. I hope it's with a tear of happiness and joy that the Bears have done what I think they will be able to and should be able to do, is be at home.
I
and
gave
beat the
my
shit out of the pocket.
We talked about it, Joe, in the beginning of the show. Just hit rewind. We talk about it.
We talked about Herbert.
And both of us feel should not be RB1.
RB1. He's a change of pace back. That's where we analyze his best. To get his best ability would to bring him in situationally and use him as the rested back for a change of pace. Because I'm not even looking at him as a third down guy. Like, oh, bring him in on third down like we did with, Robert Green back in the day or whoever. This, he is a change of pace guy. Love what I see from Roschon Johnson, man. I mean, I don't know how you can't.
Yeah, like I told you, him and Deontay Foreman, they're in four-wheel drive all the time. And
I love it.
That's fine. And you talk about getting into November, December, and hopefully a lot more in January. That's exactly what you need at Soldier Field. Yeah, Roschon is a player, and I'm a big fan of Deontay Foreman. One thing that I think we do need, I know we got to wrap up here, Phil. We're going to go about an hour. Was if you want to, they asked Justin Fields what they have improved on over the last few weeks. I'll tell you right now, one thing that they've improved on is we have a semblance of a screen game.
Oh, that's true. That's a good one. The one other thing I want to say that bothered me today, if you're making a big deal about the new logo representation, then put it in the middle of the motherfucking field. Just put the bear head at the 50-yard line. Can you figure this out, George?
Yes, but listen. This is where you have to have your business hat on, and you have to think ahead a little bit. Nothing has been settled with Arlington Heights yet, okay? So that means that the city of Chicago is still technically in play with no matter what happens. Chicago does this for a reason. You leave the city of Chicago, your primary logo is going to be a bear in the middle of your field. While you're still playing in the city of Chicago, guess what your logo is going to be in the middle of your field in the middle of the city of Chicago? It's going to be a C. There's politics involved there. 100%.
But listen, let me ask you this. If you've made this a point, wouldn't you want it on opening day to be the representation? Or you're waiting for the new stadium? Is that what you're saying?
No. They're still negotiating with the city of Chicago. If they remove the C, what's the fucking C stand for?
Well, it's Chicago on the helmet.
I
see what you're saying.
I understand.
I see.
It's just it's not a huge deal, Phil, but this is the way that games get played through the media.
But they'll still be called the Chicago Bears.
They're still going to be the Chicago Bears.
Even if they're in.
It's all about sending
Peoria, for God's sake,
little
wherever that
fucking
is.
messages. I'm telling you. I almost guarantee if they open up a brand new stadium in Arlington Heights, the fucking logo in the middle of the field is going to be a big orange and navy blue bear. There
you go. I see what you're saying there.
You think I'm aggressive, Debo, with that? You should see how aggressive I am when people spell my name wrong when they're complaining about me. Oh, man, you're fucked.
There's no Y in Shane. He's tight end, a Y. Anyway, don't ask the Ys anymore. Ask the guys here at TTNL, the Tape Never Lies Network. Sign up, become a patron. We'll be back this Wednesday night on Keeping It 100. We'll also be back doing some shows.
We may be back Tuesday night, depending
Tuesday
on
night.
what unfolds as a pop-up show with the cut
Yes.
downs. We'll see what happens. We'll see what unfolds.
I'll be rushing home Tuesday night after
Well,
practice.
we don't need you on the fucking show, bro. Man, I just texted Mandy. She's gonna come on the show and host a fucking
Bring
show.
Mandy on. Bring Mandy on Tuesday.
She's got
night.
an open invite. And
She's
again,
got a-
Mandy, I love you. I probably went too aggressive, and I'm a total fucking monster. I know, but I'm kidding. I love you, and I
clip it.
I cherish your support, and I'm being honest. That's what we do here.
Well, we'll be honest this Wednesday night on Keeping It 100 as well. Keep your things, if you're a patron, keep it locked on the update, the bell or whatever, so you get a notification, because we might be popping up tomorrow if there's a big trade that I'm hearing might go down. So keep it locked in. TTNL, the Tape Never Lies Network. Simple, thetapeneverlies.com. All the directions how to sign up are there. And the analysis of the Chicago Bears. We'll be back with Courtney Cronin Wednesday night, breaking down those same roster cuts. And if there's any other moves the Bears have made, we'll be back then. And then keep it locked in as we start hitting our stride with the NFL season and the Chicago Bears. Go Bears! Bears lose today in their last preseason game, and we saw some things we liked. We saw some things we didn't like, and that is called being a Chicago Bears fan. We'll see you next time here on Bears Hour Live. We're going to be on a break for 1 week and then back right after week 1. See you later.
Yep.
For Shane Marsaw, the smartest man, I'm your boy DDP on Bears Hour Live.
Thank you for watching Bears Hour Live, the best post-Bears game show on the planet, on the Tape Never Lies Network.